All right. Good morning. Good morning, Wichita. Good to have you on our fourth Wichita community call this Friday. Appreciate you joining us. A lot of familiar faces on the line here. Glad you could join us again. So, for those of you who are new, we are here to come together in this crazy time to help each other in business. Things are changing every single day, every single week. So, this is a great way for us to all get together, kind of share what's working right now, how people are pivoting their businesses, and what people are doing to adjust. Obviously, there's a lot of businesses that are struggling right now, and we want to be a tool to encourage you guys to keep moving, keep doing great things, to pivot your businesses, to change your messages, to adjust to the current times because things are different, very different. So just a heads up, we are going live on Facebook and recording this call. So if there's anything that you don't want to share with the public, just a heads up there, but we're here to share whatever we can and give what we can to the group. It's going to be very interactive, so I'm going to unmute you guys here after a while and let you guys kind of interact, ask questions, and conversate. So let's start it off by throwing some businesses in the chat box. So if you guys want to put your business name and then any contact information you want to, I'd love for any groups I have to interact with each other and talk with each other, and I'll give you guys some shout outs here in a minute. We are going to talk about SBA loans. Unfortunately, Sarah Haymaker with the SBA is not able to join us. She just messaged us a little bit ago. She's crazy busy with all of the loans that are coming through. So she was going to try and make next call next Friday. I'm going to allow some people that said that they would. Oh, hold on just a second. Someone just shared their screen. Let me take that off there. All right. Sorry about that. I'm going to open it up for some people that said that they would give some valuable things to the group. And we're going to open it up for conversation again. A lot of you guys know I run mastermind groups. We had a great mastermind yesterday with 10 business owners. And so we're going to do a little mini mastermind and invite some of you who have challenges that want to throw out a challenge to the group. We will talk you through that and see if we can add some value in that respect. And looking forward to a great call. So our co-host is Kelsey Shackelford. Let me see if I can, I think there you go.
Hello.
Introduce yourself real quick, Kelsey.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Shackelford. I am the community manager at Strategic Workspace and the co-host of today's call. So I get to do really cool things like bring people together for great networking opportunities and connect them with people in their respective field or that they just need to, help them in their business in some way or another. So these calls have been really great. We've brought a lot of resources to the Wichita business community while everybody's going through this crazy COVID crisis. And I think that we've been able to really help a lot of people. And I think that today is going to be really cool because everybody's going to get more of a chance to share. And we haven't really had that opportunity on the last couple calls that we've done. So I'm excited to hear from everyone today. Thanks for being here.
Yes, I'm excited too, always. Welcome, Luke Neal from Let's Roll Mobile Detailing, TJ Wilson with Farmers Insurance, Bart Ogden with Home Safe Hearth and Chimney. As always, Mr. Ed Fox with Trade Bank, who we'll introduce later. He's got a great program that you guys should get into. Cole, welcome back with Splash Aqua Park. Stacy Myers with Wichita Business Journal. Welcome, Stacy. Brianna Anderson with Beast Analytics. Sandy with Devoted Bookkeeping. Good to see you again. She was on our mastermind yesterday. Enjoyed our conversation there. Brianna Anderson. Actually, I think I already mentioned her. She put her information in. Anyway, she put her email in and saw it again. Rob and Elena Fulkins with Air Source Heating and Air. Aaron with Giving the Basics Wichita. Kelly Taylor with IQ2 Digital. Jenna with Purposeful Developments and the Alternative Board. Let's see, Shelly Moore with Neora. I think you were on last week as well, Shelly. Welcome back. Holly Nelson with 2C Development Group, Patty Durham, Moxie Boutique, Marilyn Joyce with Great Spirit Realty Partners, Haley with Cloud VO. I'd love to talk to you, Haley. I think my assistant has been contacting you. I'd love to chat with you offline. And Chrissy Robin with Hex Code Designs was on our call last week sharing some great info. I'm sure she'll jump in later and share some good things. And then Charlie Schwartz with Kansas Tax Pros. Cool businesses in the room. Welcome, everybody. So let's start with, I guess, just kind of recapping some things from the last few weeks. Everybody right now is kind of adjusting to the market. One of the big things is people are going online right now. That's actually why we're here. We're taking our community that we were going to put in our workspace. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Strategic Workspace, we're a co-working community. We have private offices, conference rooms, venue space. And really what the concept is providing a great place for people to work, as well as come to network and get good training and just have an overall great community to help you with business with whatever that is. And so we're taking everything online right now. And it's provided a lot of great relationships. I mean, there's a lot of online stuff we're doing now that we normally wouldn't have done or maybe had done like way down the road. There are just all kinds of opportunities coming out of it. And I'm really enjoying, talking to new people and creating new groups and, just having fun with this. And I know a lot of people aren't having fun because they're trying to navigate through their business. And that's why we're here to help, is to come together as a community. There's going to be, something hopefully here shared that's going to inspire you to keep going. There's going to be some great nuggets that'll help you to answer some questions that you have in your business on whether you should keep doing something or navigate in a different direction. We just want to be a great resource for you. And so I guess the biggest thing that I have seen, especially from our mastermind call yesterday, we had 10 business owners sharing their businesses. And I think the number one thing that I saw with their businesses is they're having to shift online, and it's forcing them to, adapt and change. And it's going to provide a lot of opportunity for them. So there are businesses that used to just have to meet in person. And I'm speaking for our business too. But, instead of being able to just reach people that are local, it's now allowed those businesses to think bigger and say, okay, I used to, do interpreting sign language. There's a sign language business on our call yesterday. He's got a 5,000 square foot building. He does classes. And now he can take what he was doing there and shift it online and now go nationwide or potentially global. So those are the great conversations that we're having with business owners is, taking what the market is giving us right now and making lemonade out of lemons. We can't do business necessarily like we used to. Even businesses that are still open right now are having to modify and adjust. But what opportunities are there out of that we can shift and adjust and hopefully create other business models, other opportunities, other relationships? And this is really bringing people together. I see a lot of people that are collaborating, on the calls that we're doing offline, in conversations I see on Facebook. People are coming together to really help each other. So it's an amazing opportunity for you guys to also help other businesses, to also step up and give value to your communities, which is another point I want to make is, right now, a lot of business owners have time on their hands and they're having to adjust and they can't do business necessarily the way they used to. So utilize this time really creating your communities, giving to your communities. If you didn't have a newsletter before, get your community, get your contact list together and start emailing them, giving them value. If you don't have a social media presence, start a social media presence. Don't just use this time to sit back and watch, what's that new show? Tiger King. Nothing wrong with that, but fun show. But, a lot of people are using this time to just make excuses and be lazy and that kind of thing. I know you guys aren't that, right? Because you guys are on this call right now and participating. But it's a great time to really figure out what's important. how we can serve our customers. And if we're wanting to make changes in our business, again, this is the time to do it, because if you don't adapt, you're probably going to die, right? Your business, that is. So that's kind of the message that I want to share, is that there are a lot of opportunities right now. You just have to figure out how to create those opportunities and navigate through the next month to 2 months until things start going back to the new normal, which the new normal is still going to be, much different than the old normal, I believe, for a while. It could be a few months, it could be 12 months. We just don't know. So the decisions you make right now are going to make huge impacts on your business down the road and in the future. So do what you can to get help from communities like this. And, figure out how to, I guess, add more value to your business right now than you used to. Because I think all of us, especially those that were really busy and really abundant in their business, that have now kind of shifted to, oh crap, where's my business? We're used to being fed, right? We're used to eating, and now it's like, man, we've got to do things differently. So anything we can do to help you out in those navigations, in those pivots. I'm going to bring you guys on the call later. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing in your businesses and see what you can provide to this community. And we'll also bring some business owners on to help answer some questions they have in their business. So chat box is still open. If you guys want to throw any questions in there or anything you guys want to talk about, I'd love you to do that. Let's see. I had Sarah that was going to be up. I'm just going to open it up now, actually. So let me unmute you guys. I'm going to close the room so that no one can join. If you guys were on the last call, we had some interesting visitors come join us. All right.
Still causing nightmares.
Yeah, I'm still looking around the corner to see if someone's creeping on me. All right. Allow participants to unmute themselves. All right, cool.
So if you'll let me, I'll kick it off.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so one of the ways that we've pivoted in our business is, instead of me being able to go out into the community and make connections with people, I have turned to LinkedIn. LinkedIn's been a really great resource for us through this time. I've made a lot of connections with people that I probably wouldn't have made otherwise. One call I did yesterday, I'm going to segue into somebody else here in a second, but one call I did yesterday was super exciting. And we've been really fortunate to have Chrissy on the last several calls and give us some really great marketing advice. And then I met this Brianna yesterday and had a cool call with her. And she kind of took another spin on the whole marketing take of things that I hadn't really talked about. And I just thought it was really cool. I asked her to join us today. And I think she's got some great advice that she could share. So I'm going to kick it over to Brianna. And Brianna, tell us about yourself.
Well, first, I just want to say thanks for having me. This is really exciting. I love talking to other people in business. Yeah, I do digital marketing. Actually, I do know the people over at Hexcode, so that's fun. We're all pretty tight here, all of our marketing friends. Yeah, so I focus mostly on strategy and analytics. I'm kind of a numbers nerd and finding the patterns. As well as like search engine optimization. And that's kind of been the big thing that I've been pushing to people, is making sure that your online presence tells the story that you need it to tell right now. As in, if you are like doing business differently, make sure that you have like a pinned post on your Facebook that talks about how you've made those changes. Make sure your Google My Business listing, if you don't know what that is, you need to go claim your Google My Business listing. But make sure all of your hours are set to the hours that you're actually serving people. Google's also allowing businesses to mark themselves as temporarily closed. They're allowing them to put out announcements on their Google My Business to let people know how they are doing business, if they're still doing business. Facebook's doing the same thing. Facebook has also been rolling out a bunch of really cool new tools. Things like they just opened up the sale of digital gift cards on Facebook. So if you're trying to get more like future sales, I guess, those gift cards can still bring in some revenue. And Facebook is allowing people to sell some of those gift cards. And then just encouraging people, like kind of mirroring what Tony said, to keep your clients engaged. We have a lot more freedom on the internet than we think we do. And there's a lot more availability to like have those conversations and connect with our consumers right now. So I've really just been pushing that to the people that I work with. Like, you can still go online. You may not be able to make money, but those relationships are still going to be valuable at the end of the day. So yeah, that's kind of the short version.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing,
Cool.
Brianna. Appreciate your insight there. Anything else you want to share, Kelsey, before I move on to a couple other things that I just thought of?
No, jump ahead.
All right, cool. Actually, I totally skipped over the SBA. I said Sarah wasn't here. I'll just go ahead and give my updates from what I've seen from the SBA. So first of all, there is that economic impact loan that a lot of people have applied for. And so just to reiterate, when you go and apply for that online, you can check the box that says, I would like the $10,000 advance. And supposedly that's a grant. No one from what I've seen has seen that yet. If anybody else has seen that or seen anybody get those funds, please let me know, because I haven't seen anybody that's gotten those yet. Supposedly they were supposed to do that within a short time frame, but that hasn't happened. I'm guessing it's either because they received too many requests or they just don't have the system set up yet. So that's the economic impact loan. So again, you could request an advance of $10,000 and then go through the loan application to try and get more money. That is a loan. That is not a grant, except for the first $10,000 is supposedly supposed to be a grant. And then there's the payment protection plan or paycheck protection program, something like that, PPP. And that is for you guys to be able to make payroll for the next couple months. So you can request for 2.5 times your payroll as a loan that can be used for payroll. But if you use 75% of it as payroll, and then the other part of it you can use for mortgage payments, utilities, rent, those types of things. There's like a small list of things you can use the other 25% for. You can apply after 8 weeks to have that forgiven. So if you use that money towards certain things, which is payroll and the things that they tell you can use it for, you can go back to your bank and request for that to be forgiven. So I just got my approval yesterday. So that's a big chunk of money that's going to come back into our business that will be hopefully forgiven in 8 weeks. And based on the guidelines, there shouldn't be any reason why we shouldn't get that. So if you guys have employees, please apply for the PPP. Again, I think it's Paycheck Protection Program or Payroll Protection Program, something like that. So yeah, look into that. And then I'll open it up. Does anybody else have any updates on SBA loans? Anything that they have seen right now? Any other things with the PPP? Actually, the last thing with the PPP, they have to fund that within 10 days. So I got my approval yesterday. They submitted it to the SBA, so those funds will come within 10 days. But does anybody else have any questions about that, or anybody else have any input on the PPP?
On the PPP, sorry, I'm of course just going to jump in, but on the PPP, I think for contract workers, it starts today too, that they can apply. So don't forget that if anybody in here is just a contract worker, well, not contract or has their own personal business and it's just them doing freelance or anything like that. So that's just one thing I wanted to kind of push in there.
All right,
Chrissy,
cool.
can I ask anybody who knows this? I was looking at the Kansas Department of Labor's videos and websites the last week, and they said that, and I don't know if this is true or not, that you have to, whether you have employees or not, you have to prove that you don't have employees by going through their process first before you can qualify for that. Does anyone know the veracity of that?
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Say that one more time, Holly. You said if you don't have employees, you need to prove that?
Yeah, the way that you, if you're a contractor, self-employed, sole prop, that sort of thing, the way that you prove to the SBA that you are that is by being denied, I guess it's through PPP. In other words.
Well, PPP, I think, is this. Actually, we have some background noise there. Let me, is that you, Christy? I'm not sure where that background noise come from. There we go. Oh, it must have been Holly. So the PPP, I think, is the same place you apply for the payroll as well as the independent contractor part of it. So I wish Sarah was here to answer this, but I'm pretty sure it's the same application process. You would just have to put 0 employees now and 0 employees later. And then when you submit that to your bank, they should be able to guide you through the process on what exactly they need to push that through. Do you have a bank right now, Holly, that you're working with?
Yeah, I'm working with Interest Bank.
Okay. Yeah, they have from what I understand, a portal you can upload documents to. I haven't heard anybody get their approval through them yet. I'm guessing they have a lot of applications that went through. I went through Cross First Bank. If you guys need that contact, let me know. They worked Sunday processing these applications to make sure they got through, and then got the approval yesterday. So it took them 4 days to process it in their bank, and then once they have the approval, then they submit it to SBA. But Holly, do you have Sarah Haymaker's email address?
Yes, I've been in contact with her, and she doesn't know the answer to that question either. And she was equally confused with the KDOL's videos stating that you had to jump through this extra step in order to apply.
Yeah, I would just go and apply and talk to a rep at Interest Bank. I imagine that they could probably guide you through it, and if they don't have the answer, they should be able to contact someone there to get the answer.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Okay.
Tony, I don't know if this is, can you hear me?
Yep, Brenda.
I don't know if this is true, but I have a friend who is self-employed like I am, and they had gotten on to try to apply for the PPP. They were told they had to first apply for unemployment, be denied because they're self-employed, and then they could go on forward with the PPP part of the application process. So that may be partly, Holly, one of those ways that they're proving it. I don't know, but that's what they were told. They had to first apply for unemployment, be denied, and then they could apply for PPP as a self-employed or independent contractor.
Interesting.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
right. That's one of the things I heard also. Yep.
Okay. So I guess if you're hearing that, it doesn't hurt to apply for unemployment and have that process done. So that way, at least you can have that done. Are the unemployment websites, I've heard that they're pretty clogged up. Do you guys know if they're still clogged up right now?
Still clogged up. I tried all week to do that and haven't been successful. So
I saw the Department of Labor did a Facebook Live just a little while ago, and they were talking about there's an email address that they're trying to get people to download and print off the forms that they need to fill out to submit, and that they were posting an email address that they wanted people to try and use that instead because they're having issues with their website and their phone lines being able to accept the volume of traffic. So I did catch that earlier.
I wonder if going like crazy hour, like 12 p.m. or 1 a.m. or something like that, it would help out. But no, just a thought if someone wants to try that. But Shelly's shaking her head no, because I'm guessing she tried it. All right, cool. Any other questions about the PPP, or anybody else want to throw some good nuggets in there for the group?
Tony, can you hear me? This is Denise.
Hi, Denise.
Hey, we received a call. I received a call literally within about the last hour. I had applied for the PPP through Meritrust, and so our funds are already waiting at Meritrust, and we're just finishing the documents, giving them the articles of incorporation and things like that right now. So that was good news. We applied the first day it was open on last Friday as well. So I guess just like everybody else said, we're just waiting in line.
Fantastic. Thanks for that update.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my bank's supposed to be sending me loan docs too. So I got the approval yesterday. They're going to have me e-sign the documents, and then they say that they need hard copies within 10 days. So they will fund within 10 days. They need hard copies within 10 days. So I'll sign those and get those sent off.
And our bank was very willing to do everything by literally taking a picture of it, on our cell phone of the articles of incorporation and emailing them text pictures. So They were super willing to do that. Nobody had to drive to the bank, and nobody's had to meet with anybody in person at all.
Awesome. Yeah, it seems like they're pretty, pretty, what do you call it?
Pretty flexible.
Flexible. Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, before I think the SBA was like, no, we need this and this and this. And now it's like, there's so many loans out there that they're being more flexible with things. So that's cool. Aaron said from the SBA, the 10K advance will only be distributed after approval, which takes 3 to 6 weeks. When you say after approval, is that approval for the 10K or approval for the actual loan, Aaron? Do you know?
I was just on a webinar with AGH yesterday, and they said that there was a lot of confusion because people weren't getting the $10,000 within the 3 days. And so one of the bankers came back and said that if you applied for the EIDL, once you were approved to actually get the funding for the entire EIDL, then it would take 3 days from that point to then be, distributed the $10,000. So they were saying it would take more like 45 days possibly.
And so again, so that's approval for the full loan, not just for the 10K?
That was my understanding.
Interesting. Okay. Because I was told that the 10K was going to be an advance to most businesses and forgiven. So I guess it sounds like you have to get approval first and then you'll get the 10K and then the 10K will be forgiven.
I guess, yeah. And I think obviously you have to provide some sort of substantial documentation about about the forgiveness of the 10K. It's got to go towards kind of the same items as the PPP. There's some space for operations, but I think there's still a lot of questions from what they sounded like yesterday, especially with contract workers and different kinds of businesses. It sounds like there's still a lot of confusion even between the people who wrote the law.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, 30 days ago, I didn't, I don't think they realized that they were going to have to do this, or 40 days ago. So they put this together pretty quickly and figuring out a lot of stuff on the back end. So I think everybody's kind of whining and complaining a little bit that it's not faster, but you got to consider that this is hundreds of billions of dollars that are going through a system. So I think we all just have to be patient. And I think we need to be, I guess, kind of grateful that we're getting this help. So appreciate the info, Aaron. Is there anything else you wanted to share that you learned yesterday?
No, I just, they kind of went through a lot of the stuff with the PPP as well, and how that would go through with the banks. And some of the bankers that were on the call were also unsure about some of the regulations and some of the documentation, I guess, that was being processed. So I think that I think everyone just needs to be a bit patient, like you said, because it sounds like they are still a little bit in the dark as well. And everything keeps changing. The regs keeps changing even day to day from the SBA. And so they were getting on the phone with the SBA while we were on the call. So I don't know, just be patient, I guess.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks for the input, Aaron. I appreciate that. All right, cool. Anybody else have questions about any SBA programs or any updates that they have? All righty, cool. So we have I'm going to have to look this up. I may miss somebody, but I've got a couple people that are willing to provide some things for us. I've mentioned before, we just got on Trade Bank a couple months ago. Ed Fox owns Trade Bank of Wichita. It's a bartering system, and he's got a little special that he's willing to open up for you guys. I just started a couple months ago. Basically, I'm able to provide services to the Trade Bank community. They're able to use their Trade Bank dollars for Coworking Space and private offices and anything we have at the coworking community. So we've been able to get dollars in and then take those dollars and utilize them to use other services for other businesses in Trade Bank. And those are services that we would have paid anyway. So we're getting Trade Bank dollars that we maybe normally wouldn't have gotten, and then gotten free services. There's a little fee in there, but free services from other companies. So it's been great for us. Ed's got a little special he'll throw out to you guys real quick. So Ed, you want to kind of tell them about a little something you're willing to do for this community to help them out a little bit?
Thanks, Tony. One of the things that I've found over the years, and I've been in business since I was a 15-year-old and opened a convenience store in Australia, barter in times of recession really helps those of us that own small businesses. sort of like over the hump. It can be a part of our ways of generating new revenues. So what we decided to do is our normal sign up for a lifetime membership is $495. And what we're willing to do is bring that down to $50 for people that feel like they might be able to utilize barter to fill some gaps in their schedule right now. And then defer the $445. And instead of deferring that in cash down the road, say 6 months, we're going to turn it into trade dollars. So in other words, people are out cash $50 to join the program. We can start bringing them business and earning them barter dollars, the revenue, an alternative currency that they can use with about 400 clients across Wichita. And then in about 6 months, when we've got them some trade dollars in their account and they're understanding it, and then they'll be able to pay the remainder of that sign-up fee in trade dollars instead of using cash. So that's a huge savings for most of the small business owners.
And can I say something about Trade Bank too?
As long as it's nice.
I promise.
Right in.
I like to pick on Ed, but it's all in good fun. And he likes it. So Trade Bank is super cool. And something that Tony did is he actually bonused me some of the Trade Bank money so that I can personally go spend it. And so I think it's awesome because right now I have that like in the bank and I need to get some work done to my car. So while we're all stuck at home, I can send my car off to get it fixed at one of these guys on trade. And there's like 5 or 6 people to pick from in the car fixing category. And so I'm pretty excited about that because that's money that I don't have to spend right now out of my pocket. But it was, I mean, essentially it was like a bonus to my salary. So like as an employer, you know, there is some benefits to having those trade dollars to give to your employees too. Because, you know, right now that's huge for me. And I'm really happy I have it and I don't have to spend all my money.
Yep, that's how I keep Kelsey happy.
Yeah.
Throw Trade Bank dollars, it don't really cost me much. So
Yeah, there you go.
all right, cool. One more. Heather Denning with Denning Bookkeeping Service said that she would do a free consultation and free QuickBooks online setup for anybody. It's $140 value. So if anybody wants to reach out to Heather, did you want to say anything on that, Heather? I think she's here. Maybe not. I know she signed up, but anyhow, if you need her contact information, reach out to me and I will get that to you. We have some cool people coming next week. Just real quick, I talked with someone I had talked to in 20 years. He reached out to me. He's a rep with American Express, and he's got some cool programs for small businesses. So him and I think it's Carrie. Is it Carrie? Are you on the call, Carrie? I think his cohort, Carrie, is going to be on the line. But anyway, so he's going to be on next week with, I think it's Carrie, and talk about some programs that will help businesses. So we use our American Express card. We pay it off every month and we get points. And so we're earning rewards. And then he's got another cool program that you can take a lot of your other expenses and pay as well and actually get rewards on those also. So I don't want to butcher the program. So he's going to come on next week and talk about that. And then they've got some cool loan programs too to help small businesses in this time. So he'll be on next week to talk about that. All right, cool. So yesterday, so if you're on the call last Friday, I offered 10 free spots for our mastermind. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the mastermind, it's usually about 8 to 12 people that we usually meet in person, but we're going virtual now. And so we met virtually, and it's a way for business owners to get together. Right now we have 35 people. We have anywhere from 35 to 50 people typically on this call. So this is a smaller group where each business has time to dive deep into their businesses and ask questions of the group. Challenges they may have, things that they want to overcome. Maybe they're implementing something new that they've never done. It's a way for them to present that to the group, get ideas, and kind of talk through it. So I want to do a little bit on the call today. I just want to maybe take a few businesses and talk through some things that maybe you guys are going through to kind of help you out and use the group collectively. We don't have time to go through everybody, obviously. And we did have, I think, at least a few people that are on the call today on the call yesterday. Does anybody who was on the call yesterday want to talk about some nuggets they got yesterday that can maybe help the group?
Sandy, how about you?
Sure. What I got, I think the biggest thing I got yesterday was keeping things simple. I totally take things and just complicate them sometimes. So just keep it simple. That's basically what I got.
All right, cool. Thanks, Sandy. I think a couple people said that too. They were overcomplicating some things. And one of the things I shared that someone else, it really resonated with someone else, is confusing minds don't buy. So if you guys have a product or service and you're offering too many things and it's too confusing, they're not going to buy. You know, people want it simple. They want, okay, here's what I'm getting. Here's what my benefits are, especially if you're catering to businesses, because business owners are very busy. They like to just have something in front of them and have it plain and simple. So anytime that you're providing something, just keep it, like Sandy said, keep it very simple, and make it very clear and concise. There was one business owner that was on yesterday that showed us his website. He was developing a new program, and it just had pricing all over the place. And his concept was great, like it was beautiful, but I was confused even though he explained it to me. So just a little nugget from yesterday that was kind of shared within the group. And then Ed, was there something, I noticed you unmuted yourself. Is there something you wanted to add there?
Well, I just happen to have my notes right beside me still from yesterday's call. And so the information that I got was good feedback to me, was somewhat the same as to what Sandy had. I wrote down it a bit differently. I said layman's terms. One of the things we can get involved with a lot when I look at barter, I look at cost of goods sold to try and figure out what's a barter dollar costing me. And sometimes that can be confusing for a smaller business owner that maybe doesn't know what their cost of goods are or how to work that out. So speaking more in layman's terms, and you guys also suggested developing some short 45-second videos, maybe the whiteboard animation or that sort of stuff. And so I started to work on those this morning. And then to list an industry list of my 400 providers here in town. So one of the things we're concerned about is giving away our list of people that are willing to barter. So instead of that, listing just the categories they're in, like automotive and marketing and carpet cleaning and HVAC, that sort of stuff, instead of throwing all your candy all over the lobby.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing that, Ed. Is there anything else you want to throw out there?
Man, you know me, I could hog the mic all day, but it's your show.
No, buddy. I love your input. So anything you want to share, just jump right in, and anybody else as well, if they've got some good nuggets they want to share. So like I said,
I've got a nugget now. I've got a nugget.
Too late.
So right. The thing I'm still hearing, and I'm doing a lot of Zoom one-on-ones, you know, we, for those of you that may not be part of our 316 network, look for 316 networking. We've got over 1,100 local business owners and reps that are on that. And that's how Tony and I knew each other a few years ago when I was doing Coffee News, but it's the way we reconnected. So make sure you reach out and join 316 networking group. 1,100 good members. It's not for spamming your business and posting, but it is for meeting new people that maybe you could do a virtual one-on-one with. And I'm doing lots of them. That's what from yesterday, my first call was at 9 and I finished up about 10:30 last night. And the overwhelming thing is we get bombarded with so much news, and we're trying to keep abreast of all the situations going on, but we've just got to limit ourselves to how much CNN we're watching or how much Facebook posts we're reading about COVID and what's going on, because you tend to get that impression. You know, if somebody comes up to your hot dog cart and says, oh man, the guy down the road says that the recession is kicking his butt and he's not selling many hot dogs, and then you start ordering less hot dogs because you don't want to be caught with extra product, and then you sell out, you're not making as much money. That sort of that broken window theory, or that theory coming along that if people are telling you that things suck, then you start to believe it. Well, I'm seeing so much opportunity right now. There's opportunities everywhere I look. And Tony, you were talking on the mastermind call about thinking about expanding. How do we act more nationally and more globally, even if we've got a local business? And I think that's what we really need to be doing right now, is those of us that are business owners, is we need to pivot and figure out how can we become national? How can we become global? Oh, but I'm a lawn mowing business locally. How do I do that? And I think there's a lot of great information out there. So don't get overwhelmed with the news. Turn it off, change the channel, put on an old TV land comedy or something. Stay healthy mentally as well as physically.
Yeah, good point. There's a quote that says, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And there's a lot of people right now that are saying that they can't, do business. They can't do this and that. So of course, what happens? They're not going to be able to do anything. So having that mindset is super crucial. So like I said, last Friday, I opened up 10 free spots for the mastermind, and it filled up pretty quickly. So I set up another one for Tuesday of next week. So Tuesday the 14th, which is the old tax day. So I've got already 5 spots filled up. So I've got 5 more. So I'm going to put the link to go and apply in the chat box. So anybody who wants to join that, just fill out that information. It is membership based, but again, I'm giving out doing some free masterminds just to help the community. Whether you join or not, or want to be a part of it, I still want to give value to you guys and help you guys navigate through some crucial moments. So if you guys want to join that, fill out that application on Zoom, and we'll let you know if there's any conflicts with any other businesses that could be in that room, or if for some reason we don't think you might be a good fit, because there are some businesses that are not a good fit. Couple comments here I want to read. Brianna said she looked into Trade Bank and could not see who she could do business with. She was instantly bummed. I'm sure that Ed can fix that for you. I'm sure there's some video people or something like that he can connect you with. So Brianna, you might get with Ed if you haven't already and see who he has in his back pocket that may not be on the list. Let's see. Can't remember where I heard this one, but I think it applies here. When everyone is your customer, no one is your customer. I like that, Pat. Kind of have your niche and cater to who you want to cater to, I think is kind of what he's trying to say. TJ Wilson wants to connect with you on about Trade Bank, Ed. And all right, so Chrissy was on our call last week. Chrissy, any conversations you had with business owners this last week? I know you offered some stuff to the group last week. Is there anything you want to share as far as, I don't know, any kind of changes they're making that are different from what you shared last week, or any kind of, I don't know, any changes that you can see that the group could use?
You just knew that I would jump right in and start talking, didn't you?
Yep.
No, we've had an exciting week. We had an awesome strategy call on Wednesday, talking with some business that is working on an event that they have coming up in July. And right now we're kind of cautiously optimistic about it, looking at it, strategizing the marketing towards it right now to keep moving forward with it. So it's really funny because I had an exciting week in that for June and July, I have 4 events that I'm getting ready to market for, and we're being optimistic about it and looking towards how we're going to market it, how it's going to work, and everything like that. If we are allowed out and about and the stay-at-home orders are lifted for June and July, those events I think are just going to be amazing, because number one, everybody's ready to get out of their house and go. So we're making sure that we have it all up and ready and moving forwards. I do want to ask, I messaged him privately, but I didn't get to see. Cole, I saw that you went ahead and put your post out, and you got tons of engagement. How's that going for you?
Yeah, no, I was excited to, I took your advice and did a little contest, and I think I'm not exactly sure, 6,000, 7,000 views, and quite a few shares and some engagement. I am hopeful that, we'll be able to open June, July, August as we normally would. I'm a little bit nervous and have changed up my strategy of what we're going to add to the park. I don't think people expect, well, first of all, a lot of our product didn't make it, won't be able to make it here anyways, but there was some products that I was going to add, and I think, to spend that kind of money is careless at this time, not knowing if we're going to be able to open. So I've pivoted in the fact that I'm not going to put as much money into.
Oh no.
We had this happen last time. You froze up, Cole, in case you can hear us. All right, maybe he'll be able to reconnect. I think his connection's low. So, Chrissy, tell us about that. He said he had 6,000 views on his contest. What do you remember? What he posted?
Yeah, so we were, in fact, I had it up just a second ago, but we were talking last week, and he was talking a little bit about how he didn't know if he wanted to move forward or like what exactly to post and talk about right now. And his post, he had 50 reactions to it, 44 comments, and 27 shares. So he put out a post contest to talk about your favorite memory in the park. And so he moved forward with that. I was really excited for him when I saw it go out and everything. I want to push him to keep posting and keep talking and show some of those memories. We did a really fun video for one of our, we do stuff for the Wichita Sports Forum, and they're closed right now. But their marketing, they didn't slow down their marketing at all. We're pushing forward, continuing to put their stuff out there. And we did an awesome video this week, just kind of saying, hey, thank you to everybody that is on the front lines, but also like saying, hey, we know things are weird. We're in this together, showcasing the park full and showcasing the park empty right now. And it's been getting a lot of traction and reactions because it's just kind of a, hey, we're here for you. We understand we're going through this too. And I think people have just really appreciated it. So they're getting some good stuff there. It's a similar, it's not seasonal like Kohl's, but it's entertainment. So we've been able to push out some good fun stuff with them.
That's awesome, Chrissy. Thanks for sharing that. Chrissy shared that in our group last Friday. She's actually a part of our mastermind group. One of our mastermind groups. That's one of the, as you just saw, one of the keys to getting, to having success is brainstorming and bouncing ideas off of great people. So she just obviously showed one of the benefits of doing that. So I recommend you guys, if you don't look at our group, then at least get in a room with people that are like-minded, that are willing to share some ideas with you and really encourage you to do some great things. So cool. Anything else you want to share, Chrissy, before we move on?
No, but I'm sure I'll jump in here in a little bit.
Perfect.
Thanks, Chrissy. Just wanted to say thanks. Sorry, my internet's tough here.
All good. Did you want to finish your thoughts there, Cole? I don't know exactly where we lost you. I don't know if you know where you lost you.
Yeah, just saying that, you know, that it was a good interaction. I've still got about 7 days on the post, and I'll announce a winner. And I heard some of what you know, Chrissy was saying. So I even read her blog, and I'm planning on reaching out to her. So next week I'll get with, you know, some other people that I've made connections with in this group. So thank you, Tony. I appreciate it.
Cool. And then was that a boost post, or was that just something you did on your personal page?
I boosted it after I got it started, and the boost really hasn't done much for me. I don't understand that. Maybe Chrissy or Brianna can help me with that. You know, it's just like,
yeah, I was going to say, be careful with boosting. You were getting some great organic traffic on it already. And when you boost or do Facebook ads and stuff like that, you really want to be strategic on it. And of course, yeah, that's definitely something we can talk about on it. If you want to reach out. And you said you read the blog post, just reach out for one of those calls. We're doing, if anybody wasn't here last week, we're doing 30-minute calls to talk about your messaging or your marketing or anything like that, to just kind of help you get a handle on it. No sales or anything on that, just really trying to help anybody that is struggling a little bit.
Cool. Good stuff, guys. Appreciate you sharing that. A few comments in the box. Shelly, Bart wants you to check your messages. She wants to connect with you. And she's going to apply for the mastermind. Perfect. I'll connect with you, Shelly. I don't get with you later today. Get with me Monday. Brianna said to everybody, well, actually, Chrissy specifically, y'all need to get these Facebook gift card set up for Sports Forum ASAP. And Chrissy said, yep, we're working on those. All right, cool. Good stuff, guys. All right. Well, again, I just love being able to navigate or help people navigate through some challenges. So hopefully this call has helped many people in our previous calls. But again, being able to dive into challenges specifically and help solve them is one thing that I love to do. And that's why we do the mastermind. So I'm going to do a little mastermind style right now. And want some of you guys or a few of you guys to kind of throw out some challenges that we can help solve. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be something negative. It could be something that you want to implement right now. So I'll give a few people, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so if they just want to throw something out there. Again, it could be, how do they pivot their message? It could be wanting to hire someone right now. We talked someone through the other day, a hire. It was Chrissy. And helped her to be more confident in her decision and kind of helped guide her through that challenge or that decision. Anybody else have a challenge that they want to throw out there? I'd love to help you guys solve some challenges. Man, our calls were so good these last few Fridays. You guys have nothing to solve.
Is everybody just going crazy? I mean, it's almost Easter. Does anybody have anything exciting that they want to ask about?
By the way, thanks for joining us on Good Friday. I didn't realize till a few days ago it was Good Friday.
I don't really, well, I mean, so many problems right now, right? How do you narrow it down? But I do want to talk a little bit about something that me and another business are doing to collaborate. This is Patty with Moxie Boutique, you guys. I know many of you, so hello. But I am collaborating with Angela Hull with the T-Shirt Kitchen and Wicked Stitch. And this Saturday, we are inviting all small businesses to do basically a small business Saturday redo. And we have several businesses participating. We're not keeping track of them. We didn't get that far in the process and didn't necessarily want to be the organizer of it, but we wanted to be the cheerleader of it. And I have all of the graphics already ready to go. If you guys want to post about it for your own business and encourage people to shop local this Saturday. So I will put a link in our chat box here. And if you guys want to go take a look at it and get on board real quick, it is tomorrow. But we're encouraging small businesses and local businesses to get involved and encourage their customers to shop local with them and with other local businesses tomorrow. One way we're doing that is to offer a discount. So whether you are retail like I am or a restaurant, or even the sports forum, you guys could really push some gift cards this weekend, maybe at a discounted price or an additional buy $50, get a $10 kicker card, something like that. But if you have any questions about that, you guys can reach me. I will put my contact information.
Cool. Thanks for sharing, Patty.
Yes.
Awesome.
Patty, actually, I have a question because I was actually out that way the other day. Is your store closed down like for coming in, but you can purchase online right now?
Yes. I'm sorry. And I'm on my phone, so I don't actually see who is talking.
Oh, sorry. It's Chrissy.
Oh, of course it is. We are a non-essential business. So actually the health department has asked us to close our doors. I am online like everything in my store. I've been working on my online store for a long time now. Every piece of clothing in the store is available for purchase online. Some things I don't like to ship, like glass, like candles and mugs and things like that. I don't put those online. And our jewelry shifts out too quickly for me to put it on, to really put it online. But yes, every piece of clothing in the store is online, which is moxiesasandclass.com.
Perfect. Okay. I just wanted to double check.
Awesome. It's cool, the good stuff the Wichita community is doing to help each other. And then Jesse just posted, Wichita Brewing Company is looking for some volunteers to help bottle sanitizer this Monday at 9 a.m. reach out to production@wichitabrew.com to get involved. So there's a link in that box there. I'm sure that's a great way to meet some good people. What's that?
I said I would help with that.
I would too.
Cool. Monday at 9 a.m. Awesome. Anybody else want to share anything or bring something to the group? And again, it doesn't have to be a challenge necessarily. If you want to share something you're doing you think could help the group, I'd love to hear it.
I'm offering a free website audit with a report for people that have websites that are either lead generating or e-commerce. That will identify the top 5 actionable steps that you can take to improve things like, depending on what I see when I get to your website, brand trust, visitor time on page, lead generation, or online sales. I've been in the business since 1995, and I've seen it all. Nothing will surprise me. Send me your website. I've put a link in the chat, and I'll send you a free report.
Cool. Thanks, Holly. I appreciate that.
One thing that we've been doing is we all across BNI network, we have put together a trade group. So we've actually been doing well with referrals lately and doing business with people that are in the BNI network.
All right, cool. Awesome. Do you have information you can share on that?
Yeah. If you are in BNI, you should already be a part of it. It's like 50 of us that are kind of like the household services is what we're trying to keep it limited to. But you can text me or call the store and we can get you on our list. I'll just put my email in the chat. That'd probably be easier for everybody.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kelsey said we have Jesse Lee with Purple Bunny.
Oh, he said his video's not working, but he'll be ready next week.
Oh, the IT guy has his video not working.
I know.
Wow. No, just kidding.
I have to tell you,
no, he's great.
Awesome. They came out to my cricket field and took Wi-Fi from my house over to my cricket clubhouse and did an amazing job. And really, really love Jesse and his team with Purple Bunny. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, he's great. That's who we use at our workspace. He came in one day actually to help Trade Bank with something and inadvertently helped us fix a lot of problems in like 5 minutes. And now he is our IT guy too. So we like him a lot on Trade. And also he is an office member. And so we've got all kinds of deals working out with Jesse.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Promo code Ed Fox at checkout, right?
That's right.
All right, cool. Actually, Jesse is on. He said, thank you. Let's see, what else? I thought I saw something else in here someone said. Let's see if I can find it. Cool. Anybody else want to jump in and add some good value to the group?
This is Denise. I have something that I would definitely ask for anyone's input on. So we are obviously a commercial and residential carpet cleaning, furniture, rug, air duct cleaning, and janitorial residential housekeeping business. So we've been around a long time. So we're working on 11 to 12 years. So like a lot of you said, this is not new to us to go through downtimes. We are considered essential. So we are having to figure out how. I have an office manager working from home just part-time right now. We have limited work for our technicians and our housekeepers. And right prior to a lot of this happening, I had actually posted something because we had been trying to move more into the janitorial side. So where my challenge lies right now is we are trying to even old-fashioned go door to door to get the information out about something we can help with prior to employees coming back to offices. We are doing, like you've seen a couple other companies in town, I think, that are doing it very proper. They're doing a sanitizing wipe down, and then they're adding a viricide fogger. So that's a service that we're providing. However, we're meeting with, of course, most of the places that we would go face-to-face are closed, doors locked, no decision makers on site. So I would take anybody's input. We've got an SEO gentleman here from Wichita that's going to start working with us on making some videos and getting that pushed out social media wise pretty quickly. But I would take anybody's input on any additional ideas you would have on how we can reach commercial decision makers that would say, let's do this one time, or let's start taking care of our work environment ongoing.
Denise, do you have an email list that you work with too?
It is years and years and years old, but we can pull an email list through QuickBooks of, we used to use I had somebody in my office do it for a while. It was one of those email blast companies, and quit using them when email just kind of started going down and people weren't opening it. The open rates were really, really small. So where we're at now, we can pull an email list through QuickBooks for some current information. And then we also use Review Monster, and we can pull an email list from there.
Yeah, I would recommend, I'll tell you, we have seen our email open rate double and almost triple in some places.
Okay.
So I would recommend doing email, and I would recommend communicating that you have those services to your previous and current customers, so that you communicate that you're offering that as a service right now and as a bonus kind of thing.
Right.
And then also just continue to provide value with it. So don't go at it like, hey, we just have to make this kind of a sale right now and push it too hard. What I would do is offer some cleaning tips with it, or talk through some of those things so that you can do that. And that, and then, yeah, definitely getting those digital ads up. So I don't know who your SEO guy is, but making sure that you do some of those digital ads and videos that are kind of talking through and showcase you as that professional and the person to go to that knows what they're doing and things like that. You guys have been in business for, isn't it over 20 years?
No, we're at year almost 12. So,
so 12 years.
Seems like 20 sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. But you have that experience and that knowledge to put out there. So definitely the videos are going to be good. Making sure your social is still light and you're communicating these services. Just don't oversell, provide the value, and then also provide the sale too, because you're in a service, and the fact that you can, the virus bomb that you're talking about, the fact that you can provide that kind of stuff to really clean out and get rid of that stuff is going to be fantastic. And especially, I mean, one of the things you could talk about too is the fact that we talked about this with OxyFresh carpet cleaning, is the fact that people are putting more wear and tear on their house right now. So if they're cleaning it and keeping that up to date and things like that, they'll be taking care of their house more.
Right.
One of the
Definitely, I like the idea of the email blast. We need to do that for sure.
Yeah, and I would, hey Denise, it's Patty. How are you?
Good.
Hey, I have a couple of suggestions. I would piggyback off what she said and say the email is not dead, for sure. But have you thought about, are you getting the business journal, the book of lists?
I do not.
Girl, you got to get the book.
Okay.
Because it gives you all the CEO names, all the business owner names, all the top 10, top 100, whatever, and it gives you all their contact information. So like every month that there is a list of realtors, get that information. Every month there's a top women business owners, like get that information, put it in your database, send emails, make phone calls. That's what and I know you collect business cards because you probably have mine. You got a girl that needs some work, right? So get her with data entering all that contact information into a database and use it.
Yeah, it sounds like from what I'm hearing you guys say, we need to go back to the old ways of doing the email blast and the personal contacts to whatever decision maker can answer a phone to get in front of them quickly.
Well,
Right,
and not only
right
that, but
now,
if you're gleaning all that information, you're going to have their mailing address, you're going
Right.
to have their phone number, you're going to, I mean, get it all, because it's hard to go back and get all that information. But if you're collecting it day by day, like I have like 10,000 people on my email
Right.
list. You know why? Because I collect it everywhere I go.
Right.
If you hand me your business card, you're on my email list,
Right. I
whether
still get,
you know it or not.
yeah, good stuff, Patty. Yeah, we did talk about in our group yesterday that right now is the time to contact your list. Number one, you or your team has time. Two, the people on the other side are not as busy, so they're going to open their emails more. They're going to communicate with you more. They're going to be more willing to take your call. And then Denise also checked out LinkedIn. There's so many tools on LinkedIn to connect to business owners that people don't use. So you can do searches for CEOs, presidents, people that make the decisions. So that's a great way to connect with people right now. And like Chrissy said, open rates are higher. You can even check into text marketing. That's something that has a 90-some% open rate. You got to be careful with your message and the regulations and things like that. But that's something that's big right now is text message marketing. Chrissy, are you working with text message marketing right now?
I have done a lot of research into text message marketing. There are some difficulties with the spamming factors and things like that. I was talking to Denise, something you might want to look into with the text message marketing and reviews, and anybody that's in a service industry, you want to get a ton of those reviews and stuff. I have a client that uses Pulse M, P-U-L-S-E, and the letter M. And they have seen fantastic returns on their reviews with Pulse M. And so that's something that I've been recommending to people as well. I am careful with text marketing because of the spam filters and regulations like that, but I've seen lots of good things about it too.
Yeah. Here at Moxie, we do text message marketing. I use actually 2 different services for it, and I am careful about it. I make sure that they're opting in. One of my services is a double opt-in. That one didn't go so well, but I have like 1,200 people on my text message marketing, and I'm kind of over it that if they want to opt out because you're not my customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and business to business regulations are a little bit different from what I've heard and kind of what I've read. So you can look into that. I think when you do business to business, you don't necessarily have to abide by some of the do not call lists or regulations. So I don't know enough about that to tell you about that. But if that's something you want to research, I would definitely do that, because if you're marketing to businesses, then that's much different.
And Denise, sorry.
We have a local guy, IQ2 Digital. He was just on the call a minute ago, Kelly Taylor, that can help on the text marketing side of it as well. I'm not sure what else you can do with it, but we're using it at the coffee shop. So IQ2 Digital. Hey,
Patty, what text messaging service do you use?
It's actually through my Shopify store. It's an app add-in, but I have been collecting phone numbers from customers for 5 years. And I had the right person that is trained on all that stuff. And she uploaded all of it for me. Now that one is, text message marketing can be very expensive. If you're doing it right and you're jumping through all the hoops, it's going to be expensive. I mean, I think every time I send a text message, it costs me over $100. But I've jumped through all the hoops.
And you probably track it to know whether it's bringing results too, right? So.
Yes, yeah, I can tell when I log into my dashboard how much revenue I've gotten off of that, how many people have opened it, if there are any opt-outs. People can reply to me and I can talk to them. Some of the things you'll want to look at, text messages are great, but they can be a little boring, just like emails. So you want to make sure that you can add emojis. You want to make sure that you can add links and pictures or GIFs. So because text messages can be really boring and people will just be like, oh, that was boring. All she wants is my money. No, I'm here to entertain you as well. So here's your entertainment.
I love how entertaining you are, Patty. It's good stuff.
Marketing aside, Denise, I sent you a message. I was actually talking about you the other day to one of my friends who owns a maid service, and I think they'd be good for you guys to connect and bounce ideas off each other. And also, I don't know where we are in the COVID cleaning, killing process, but I've seen a lot of digital ads overpromising that just looks like a liability in 6 months.
They are, and that's where you have to draw the line. There's a lot of liability out there. I'm looking at people's ads every day that I would never put that in an ad.
Yeah, it's scary.
They are going to be very liable for the words they're using. The only thing they should be doing is providing like the SDS sheet on the chemical product that they're using. Like we have a large maybe 20,000 square foot office space in Park City that we're doing next week. So prior to going there, we've already sent email with safety data information. So we make no claims on what it's doing. We will allow you to see what the chemical says. So there is a two-step process that I think most of the cleaners are finally getting on board with, is they understand you can't just fog an area with a viricide or a disinfectant and expect germs to be killed. The process is that you're actually cleaning and sanitizing the surface first, and then fogging and leaving that in the environment for it to settle, and making sure that everybody's out of the environment for 1 to 2 hours. So if you hear or see something other than that, yes, they will probably be very liable in the future for what they say. And that's a very slippery slope. So I'm usually not an early adopter, but we've fogged businesses in the past when influenzas had, kind of ramped up. And of course, I've fogged my air ducts. I don't know how many times at my house, just because. So it's not a new process. It's been around a long time, but now you have a lot of people jumping on that have never done the process before. And there are a lot of ads out there that are very incorrect. So
yeah, there's your sales pitch right there. I mean,
what you just said, Denise, is that you just explained to us how you differentiate yourself in the market. So think back over what you just said and incorporate that into little videos. Yeah. And I would say, go ahead. Sorry, Pat.
Oh, no, you're fine. I'd say I even thought, to tie us all back, I thought of Luke earlier because he was talking to you like last week about, over promising in this exact way. There was a cleaning company that had a sponsored ad on my Facebook this morning that had they're selling like a Corona care package and like face mask and like hand sanitizer and a chemical. And I'm just like, man, that's just like selling hope in a bottle. Like
calling it that is the problem. But here's what I will say. There are many cleaning products. They're very neutral. Most of them are like a pH level 7 or 8 that kill MRSA, H1N1. Those have all been completely documented for years.
Yeah, those are our bathroom cleaners, yeah.
Right. So what people are doing is there are products that already say they kill coronavirus on their label. They've been labeled that since 10 or 12 years ago. So what people are saying is now we kill this coronavirus. That's not true. And so that's where there's going to become a lot of difficulty in the future. But yeah, I saw what you saw, and it is a word game, and it's unfortunate, but that's going to give people a false hope. All people need to do is clean. But it's a matter of, using something using a process that would kill germs is what's necessary. But so we are using different lingo. People that are doing a 2-step process are doing it right. So I would say that not everybody's doing it wrong out there for sure. But I definitely appreciate all the input on getting into some of these email blasts and keeping I think even from what you guys were saying earlier, keeping maybe the advertising very simple, because I think there's a lot of misconception out there. So we're going to have to work on that part.
And even just giving them a touch, Denise, is going to be better than nothing. If you've got your email list, even if you send them just a quick, like, hey, here's what we're doing. here are the products we're using, no sales pitch. That's letting them know that you're still in business, that you're still around, you're still thinking about them. And then once the doors do open back up, they're going to be more likely to think about you.
And I think the best way to combat some of those people that you have that are saying the wrong things, don't address that they're saying it wrong. I would just educate and showcase that you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about, because you do. I mean, it's really obvious when you're sitting here talking through some of those things. I had a client that was struggling with some things and had some misconceptions in his industry. And I know we battled that a lot of the time. I had a call this week where there was a lady that got told the wrong things and got screwed over. Sorry for no better way to say it, but got screwed over by another company in our industry. But the best way that you can combat that and kind of rise above those other people is by showing the education online. And I had what I was saying before, sorry, I go off in trails, but what I was saying before is that I had a client that I was talking to that he was having struggles with how do I move forward right now. And he started putting out those educational videos after we talked about it. And he's thriving right now.
Right.
He said he's doing so much better, and getting some of those educational videos out there showing that you are the expert in the industry just will help so much.
Thank you, Chrissy. I've always felt like the right thing to do is rise above and never downplay what somebody else is doing.
Exactly.
You know, there's room. I in fact was on phone calls with 2 different cleaning company owners here in Wichita this morning that are my size or larger, and we're great friends. We're actually borrowing equipment from each other, foggers. If they need it, we send it. If we need it, they bring it. And so, you know, that to me is the way to go. And I definitely agree with not putting any shade on what they're saying, but just moving on and letting people be educated on what the right way is.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. Collaboration over competition is what I always push.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I would say also that, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Holly.
Don't be afraid to ask for referrals also. If you've got your core customers that are loyal and get you and understand how you're different in the market, you know, you don't have to be like really in your face about it, but there are subtle ways to say, you know, we know a lot of businesses are shuttered, things like that. They have their contacts and they have their ear to the ground, and they do have emails and contacts of people working from home right now who would love to have your service. So don't be afraid to ask for referrals. When you send out your emails, make it easy to forward those. You know, it's like put a little action item at the end, like a PS or something that says, you know, if you know someone that's looking for this service, things like that.
Okay. Another good thought. All things that, you know, as business owners, I think I've known for years, and you just, when you're going through the process and working endless hours, you kind of forget some of these things.
Cool.
Thank
Good,
you.
good stuff, Denise. Thanks for sharing, and thanks everybody for their
Thank you,
input.
everybody. Absolutely.
So one thing I want to touch on real quick is reviews. Reviews are a big thing for your business, especially with so much competition and so much clutter out there. I'm going to encourage you guys to take this time also not only to keep in touch with old customers and people you haven't kept in touch with for a long time, but the customers that you have now, also get reviews from them. I just put a link in the chat box. If you guys click on that, there's a really cool thing that Google has that you can take your Google page, put your link in, or put your page in, and it'll generate a link for you so that you can send out to people. And instead of them going on your Google page and figuring out how to leave a review, it's going to pop up a box that has the stars above that you can just click on 5-star and leave a review very quickly. You have to be logged into Google. And while we're at it, while you guys are in there, if you guys don't mind leaving Strategic Workspace review, that would be great. But this is a very cool tool. You know, Google has their algorithms, and a few tips on this. So the more reviews you have, the better SEO you have. So that'll increase your rankings. Anytime you have a review, make sure you reply to it. I haven't replied in a little bit, so don't judge me on that. But if you reply to it, your rankings go up. And if you have negative reviews, make sure you reply to those also, and be nice to those. Just say, hey, I'm sorry for your experience. Sometimes people post reviews on there and get it wrong, so you can actually go to Google and say, hey, these people I haven't done business with, or they're putting something on there inappropriate. Sometimes they'll remove them, sometimes they won't, just depending. But respond to those anyway. Just say, hey, I'm sorry that your service wasn't the greatest, or you're having an issue. We really want to make it right. Please reach out to me, and we'll make it good, make it right to you. And people will see that. And even if you have negative reviews, they'll be like, okay, they have 1 or 2 negative reviews. They've got 50 other good reviews. They're going to get past those. So if you guys do not have a Google page, you need to get it. And if you've got it, try and get as many reviews as possible, because that will bump up your ratings. And if you notice when you put in, you're searching for a business in Wichita or anywhere locally, that there's a map, and then it's got a list of business owners, and then it's got reviews. So if you've got 50 reviews and all the other businesses have 5 reviews, guess who they're going to call first? And the difference between a 4-star rating and a 4.1 and a 4.2 is dramatically different, based on what they're going to, or based on how they perceive your company and whether they're going to do business with you or not. So going from 4 to 4.2 could mean an extra, I don't know what the numbers are, it's like 10%. When you go from like 4 stars to 5 stars, like people are like 50% more likely to do business with you. So if you've got, even if you have a 4.6, if you can get it to 4.7, 4.8, by getting more 5-star reviews, you really need to build that up and, get that as part of your marketing strategy. Because once you do that, it's going to continue to produce results. You spend, someone brought this to my attention, I think it was about a year ago, and I spent probably a week just emailing everybody that I could think of that I did business with and said, hey, leave me a review, please. I know we've done business. I'd really appreciate it. And we went from like, I can't remember what the number was on professional home buyers, and went from like 20 reviews to like 80 pretty quickly, and boosted our rating pretty high. So just thought I'd throw that out to you as something you guys can work on and really help build your brand that way. And
hey, Tony.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to go in, back you up on that. The power of these, and I'm sure everybody knows, but the power of these reviews are in the reach of them are amazing. I had a phone call from a company in Minnesota who they build those train puller carts, like to pull trains. And these things are huge. I mean, they make combine tractors look tiny. And they called me and said they saw my 50 reviews and perfect 5-star rating, and they looked at a few others, but I was only one with 5-star, and so because of that, they called me. And so never underestimate where you can get phone calls from. I mean, Minnesota, I never thought I'd hear from Minnesota for a detail, but they called me to detail this big old machinery thing, and it went really well and really smooth, so you never know.
Very cool. Thanks for the input, Luke. Holly, you got something for us?
Yes, I have actually gotten business because of the way that I've handled negative reviews. And people have actually made a point. I always ask, how people heard about my company or whatever, and attract marketing, and people have mentioned that on more than one occasion, that they were really impressed with the way that I handle a couple of negative reviews. So back to that, if you handle them, it can actually bring you business.
Very cool. Awesome. So we're going to, I'll stay on, and we'll open it up for maybe 1 or 2 more people to kind of throw some things out there we can discuss. But before we do that, I'd like some input from you guys. Next week is going to be our last Wichita business community call. We scheduled out 4 of them, just, as far out as we thought this would potentially go, as far as the stay-at-home order. So we're going to look at how we want to continue this. Do we want to continue to do it weekly for a little while? Should we do it monthly? I know a lot of you guys are coming back week after week, so I feel like you guys are utilizing it. So if you guys could either, or actually just put in the chat box, if you would participate in these weekly, if you could just throw that in there. If you think it'd be more like a monthly thing you would do, I just kind of like to get some feedback. We want to give as much value as possible to the Wichita community, but if people think a monthly call is just as good, then we will continue to do that forward. If people think weekly is great, then we'll possibly continue the weekly calls. Cool. So I see some people already commenting in there. Appreciate the feedback. Looks like a lot of people like weekly, bi-weekly. And then Kelsey put our emails in there if you guys want to email us any feedback on that. But it looks like weekly people like. So, all right. So we were going to do this next week again. But again, I'll open it up for a couple more people. If anybody wants to throw some things out, we'd love to solve some challenges for you. All right, Kelsey, anything you want to add before we jump off?
I'm just really excited to see you guys all again, and I'm really happy that you all want to do this every week. I think that's wonderful. Thank you for helping us build this community and provide support to each other. That's all I have to say. Happy Easter weekend.
Yep. Happy Easter, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Good Friday, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.